Saeed. Hope all is well. Give praise to the Most High. We also give praise to our ancient ancestors, our spiritual team, also the universe, and we also across the globe. Let's get into this thing. I haven't talked much about this subject, but I will talk about this subject not only on a personal spiritual warfare experience, but also the experience of others who did not make it through this experience and those who are fearful of this experience. I kind of give you a little um, solution to this that the Most High will give me to give to you. It'll be different for each person, but then you also can do your own due diligence and your own research. Shouts out to the person who watches me, who wish harm on me. It's crazy. But anyway, let's make something clear. Anytime that I've ever met anyone or encountered any person, whatever type of relationship or connection it has been, past, present, and future, it always has been always pure intentions, no intention to create harm with others. And I understand that people are weak minded to their own devices, which means they do not take accountability. I am not responsible for that. However, I do leave people alone because I know that people pretend that they are a good person or they are in alignment with the Most High. But people are in human forms, do make mistakes, as well as myself have made those mistakes. But taking accountability and responsibility allows me not to make those type of mistakes because these things were not taught. But I am grateful that I learned not only to be taught by the Most High and also myself, but also learning not to make mistakes and learn from the lessons. However, let's get into this. So, the Grand Reaper, we have people who don't understand what the Grand Reaper is, who it is. It's more than one, but we're just going to speak overall. The Grand Reaper, of course, is the spirit that comes takes the human form when it is called and when it's not called. Excuse me. However, you do have people who send the Grand Reaper by spiritual work. You also have people who send the Green Reaper by wishing these things upon the star. And upon the star meaning in their mind or their words. And sometimes these words can be verbally towards that person in that present moment, or it can be in a thought where a person is actually expressing this to others and also to themselves. In the spiritual realm, people who do spiritual work, sometimes it can be warlocks, witches, sometimes it can just be a random person, but either way it go, they will go and research or get information from many different sources to figure out how to obtain this intention, which is bad intentions. When it also backfires, it backfires to the point where now they feel that you have done this thing to them when the whole time you never knew that there was a beef or there was a conflict that never was resolved because they never confronted you, even if you had that confront conversation at that particular time, one on one or as a group. Once it's over with the conversation is over with. You will find people who do this thing on social media platforms, go back and forth, really wasting a lot of time and energy, and not understanding that you're sowing seeds and you're putting energy out into the universe, which will backfire because the universal laws doesn't care about people who understand or don't understand or refuse to understand. This is one of the reasons why I get on this platform to inform people so they'll know how to avoid these type of situations or to actually be aware of something they may have said or done. This subject not only talks about this subject, but this subject can be used in any type of matter or purpose in your life. However, based off of experience, based off of research, and based off of being an observant person, these things do happen to people, and unfortunately, people are responsible for their own decisions. I am fully aware of what people do, but again, there's nothing I can do as far as people's free will who choose to send ill will or conjure these things up. Now, the bonus is, which usually comes at the end, I'm going to do the bonus now. The bonus is that the Grand Reaper, or Reapers with an S, or comma S, is allies of mine in the spiritual realm, they will not attack me. It would look like they're attacking, but they will not attack me. And the reason being because the Most High has set it up that way, because the Most High know that people are very evil and that people pretend to people or deceive people, or there's other people who cannot just see past the veil, the curtain, which means they can't see past what people are actually showing them or telling them. However, even if I could not see, the Most High see. People keep forgetting that the Most High created this universe of multi-time, multi-universe dimensions, and understand and understood what is and what isn't. So not just general speaking, but also personal speaking, people are fighting a battle that they'll never win because they're going against the Most High. Why? However, they think in many circumstance situations, besides this subject, that people are actually going against the person or people that they choose to attack, reason or no reason. If people is very intelligent spiritually or spiritual intelligence, or even physical intelligence, they will understand that they don't have, if someone done something bad to you in some type of way, the universe and the Most High will give them their consequence. But also, people want to be God. Trust me, I've had the experience where I've seen people in the past do certain things to me, and I wanted something instantly to happen to them because of the injustice that they done. Because again, like I said before in the beginning of the conversation, I have pure intentions. My intentions will never be opposite of that because I don't have to lower my standards or lower myself in that type of energy or that mindset. I've never had that type of mindset. You know what I'm saying? And so, with that being said, going back to the Grand Reaper will come. The Grand Reaper will come, and those who are not protected will actually deal with their demise. The sad part about the Grand Reaper can start attacking people, not just people also, but things in people's life and put a death to it. It can be a talent, it can be a gift, it can be a way of receiving something, or the dangers of this. People can block their blessings knowingly and unknowingly, and what that means, blessings that the Most High already has set up. Now, the Most High is a trickster. They said, why would Most High be a trickster? Because he wants to see if people loyal, the way that they project themselves to other people. And also when they're praying to God, saying, thank you, God, for this day. Thank you for this food. Thank you for being safe. Thank you for making from to and from safely. Thank you for answering my prayers for those I pray for. This is a hypocrite. A hypocrite is someone who pretend that they have a connection with the Most High and then also pretend to others that this is so, and also to themselves, but then in the background, which means hidden agendas, emotions, intentions, actually have a relationship with something that isn't of the Most High. It can be an evil form, it can be a selfish form, it can be envy, it can be hate, it can be jealousy, it can be a combination of many things. But either way it goes, the bottom line is this is what these individuals have that they want to continuously, for some reason, think is hidden and nothing's hidden. That's why you find myself on a personal level, giving you some personal stuff as well. That I find myself, some of the choices that I made, I could have not made them if I had not been impulsive, if I had a thought before taking action. And now that I've learned those lessons, I rather think before I do. And because I'm not only putting the other person in harm, whatever that may be, I'm putting myself and anybody that I care about, or if I was to care about anyone or person, place, or thing, will be destroyed by all means necessary. The Most High don't favor me unless I'm obedient. You see what I'm saying? The Most High don't favor me unless I'm loyal. And because of my obedience and loyalty, despite anyone believing that truth or anyone seeing that truth, the Most High relationship not only one on one with me, but the Most High relationship is one on one with everyone. I'm not here for validation. I'm not here to convince other people. I'm here to tell that truth. Here to tell that story. So when people get in a place that they're in, which is in complacent and they're wondering why something's not working, that'll be one of the options. There's several different options that I can teach and tell people, not only by experience, but also the things that I see other people go through, because people cannot see past what they see, and that's okay. But also, I can teach and show people how to open up that opportunity where they can see past that. But that comes with, again, being obedient to the Most High. And when I say I means the Most High who speaks through me. I take no credit for anything. I give all praise to the Most High at all causes. There's things that I'm gonna go through that I don't like, but again, the Most High tests me as well as anyone else. Are you still loyal to the cause? And because of that, that's what it is. And yes, it makes an individual upset. I know relatives do spare work against me. They've been doing it since birth. I didn't realize none of that until a few years ago, maybe last year. I would say the most important part that I actually realized it. But I'm not going to say that at any given point during my journey of life that I have not ever thought they have done something, because I have. And because I was shown, I ignored the signs and I ignored the truth that God had showed me, that these individuals had it out for me, whatever their ulterior motives or reasons are. But it wasn't based on my perspective enough to do anything, because I've done good, many different things that these individuals struggle to do on their own, where they were comprehensive, meaning being able to be aware and also comprehend how to do. But either way it go, I don't regret anything that they've done when it come down to this matter, and sending these death spells and all these blockages and delays and love blockages. I'm fully aware of mirror magic, you name it, I know about it. But see, what they didn't understand, only one person, I would say, let me rephrase it. I would say two people out of all the relatives realized that I knew a little bit more than what they did not know that I knew, but they learned some things from me. I also learned that the things that I was teaching, I had to stop teaching because they were using it in the wrong way. And also the patterns and also the behaviors. It was inconsistent of being genuine. All I seen was behaviors and patterns that I most definitely questioned and I did not deserve. And so I distanced myself. I can be anybody. So, well, you sure? Yeah, I can be anybody that I meet, because once you show me how you truly feel and how you truly want to treat me, I'm gonna leave your ass alone. I don't have to get back at you. That is my get back. My get back is to be absent. My presence is a blessing. And with that being said, that eats people up. They don't have to call me. They don't have to send me an email. They don't have to send a message through social media or even physically for me to know that. I know that based off of experience. I know that based off of people that I've seen. Hey man, what's up, man? I ain't seen you in a long time, man. We need to get together. They already know it's not going to happen. What I never understood about the death spell or the death of people decisions making towards me is that they never had no true person around them ever, ever in their life. Never. It doesn't matter if they was married. It doesn't matter if they was in a relationship. It doesn't matter if it was their best friend. I just never understood that these people never had a real person in their life, which later on I discovered that I realized that people who never had real love, real affection, loyalty, people who are genuine, people who are consistent, would never know how to treat someone such as myself or anyone who's out there in the world who actually bring this presence to them. And with that being said, you deserve to be respected and honored with the respect that you're giving to someone or others. And because people struggle with that, that's their personal preference. It's something they have to figure out, and they can learn their lesson, and then they can go out and achieve that if it's destined for them to achieve another chance with someone else. But me, I don't give second chances. Now, I used to be that first, second, and third chance, all that. And you know what? It would be the same old shit. It don't have to be the same scenario. It just be some betrayal. And with that being said, I understood that I did not need to waste my energy and time, because guess what? That same grand reaper that people can conjure or they can become, I knew and know then I can become the same thing. And I've mentioned in short feeds that I am light and dark. And people also have to understand something that they truly don't understand because we've been misinformed about darkness. Darkness is not evil. There are dark spirits that actually does protect people from dark spirits and also envy and evil people in this world. So us thinking that being of light is actually going to protect us, it does have a protection, and then we've been told that according to doctrination that is the only truth of protection, but it's a lie. You got even extraterrestrial beings, galactic beings that is not in human form or may be in human form or both, actually a protector that actually does light and dark. You know, you do have people in the world who criticize what people say and so forth, so on, but they never take a look in the mirror of the criticizing that they do upon themselves as well as they do upon their only true loved ones that they claim that they care about. So, what this Grand Reaper is going to come, when that time come, the Grand Reaper has a responsibility, which are more than one. And when people leave this earth, it takes it to the spiritual realm wherever they're choosing of their choices that they made on this planet. That's where they're going. And again, that is the resurrection that people are waiting on for those who are. When you leave this physical body, you're going to go to the place that you're supposed to go to based on the action that you took upon yourself and also others. Everyone knows right and wrong, and the truth of that truth is that there's something within yourself that tells you to stop doing something. There's something within yourself that tells you to do this and it tells you not to do that. And so you have people who use all the excuses. You got people who put themselves in situations being intoxicated or doing some type of drug or hanging around some type of people so they can use that as the excuse. And the Most High is merciful, but then again, at the same time, the Most High will allow situations to come about to see what we're going to do if we continuously to use that excuse or we're going to actually take accountability. Fortunately, people do not take accountability. This is one of the things that people do not like about me as a person, honest and telling the truth, because that actually makes people have to look at themselves and it's understood. But at the end of the day, it's a personal problem. It has nothing to do with me. Yes, I will get attacked as I've been getting attacked. This will not stop until I leave this planet. And again, I'm here for it. And the reason why I'm here for it, because I have to actually accept that truth. And that's the thing about it. And most people may feel like, oh man, he just got a perfect life. My life is not perfect. My life is life. It's life and like anyone else life. And I just don't let it beat me up. I just don't let it beat me down. And I don't rely on myself, while I also can show by example, being an example that people can not have to think they have to rely on themselves, that they can actually have a relationship with the Most High. This doesn't require a book. It doesn't require a Bible. It doesn't require you to be in groups of people. It doesn't require you to rub elbows with certain people. It doesn't require you to have certain type of money. It doesn't require you to have a certain type of car, relationship, status, mindset. It requires your effort. It requires you to have faith, and that's all it takes. Faith and effort, and the rest will speak for itself. It may seem slow, but slow is good. And why slow is good? Because you don't understand. And what you don't understand, the Most High has to feed you. Like the scripture would say, I had to feed you milk before I could feed you food. And you know good well if you was a baby, or as when you was a baby, if I would have gave, or your parents would have gave you food, you actually would have choked, and 9 out of 10 you would have perished. And that perish can be temporary or it can be infinite. Either way it go, the point is made. The Most High is not playing games, and that's just what it is. And people want to play games. People want to think they got all this time to do whatever messy stuff that they want to do. And I can remember asking the Most High years ago about some of the messy stuff that I was doing that I had, and when I say messy stuff, it's different forms of this, but the messy stuff that I'm talking about is just having time to enjoy drinking and having sex and just never committing and ignoring people to the best of my ability. And more importantly, this point that I'm making is saying that I got enough time to stop doing these things, and now I want to build this relationship. And the Most High let me know and inform me that no, you don't. Yes, I will forgive you for what you're doing, but I'm also going to hold you accountable. So each time, regardless, it didn't happen overnight. It took time. That each time that I decided to continuously the behaviors, whatever that may have been, allow me to deal with some type of consequence. Now, in the place that I'm at now, I wish I would have never done those things. But in the place I'm also now, I'm glad that I done those things. Like, I'm confused. There's no confusion, because how would I be able to tell people the story to help them on that journey? And that's the reason why I don't regret. And so, with that being said, it allowed me to be where I'm at now. I share what I can. I help what I can help people by giving them information. It takes people to apply the information in life. Don't be confused. Don't try to rush to try to figure out what is being said. Take your time with yourself. The more you take your time with yourself, the better, and the better understanding and clarity that you have. And a lot of all this stuff that we've paid attention to is nothing but distractions. I used to watch the news, politics, you name it, I did it. I gave all that shit up because all that shit is noise. And they said, what is noise? Noise that do nothing for you. All you know is time is ticking. You can't get your time back. And what you realize, when it's time for you to die in this physical body, you could have did more. You know what I'm saying? You could have not wasted time with people who wasting time, people who not trying to do nothing in life, but sit around and be messy and talk and gossip, slander. I've been around all that stuff, especially when I used to stream and things like that. It's most definitely very influent there. And you call yourself, because you think you're protected, the Most High is actually trying to get you to stay and remain protected. But when we go out and be around harmful and dangerous things, whether we see the signs or not, we actually put our protection or take our protection away. And it was a hard pill to swallow, because I had built some codependent trauma bonding bonds with people that I liked things about them. Even though I knew they had flaws and things like that, which we all have, I didn't hold that against them. But I realized that people didn't treat me the way that I treated them, and they didn't see me the way that I saw them. And eventually, it was many different tremendous things that had to happen for me to actually not only retreat, but also stay permanently away. And that's what I decided to do. So I don't concern myself about how people treat me, what people think about me at the end of the day, because overall, I already know my exit. People just don't know. And even if people do know and they say, well, now that I know the remedy, I know how to approach the situation. Now, that's up to the person who chooses that strategy and also that decision, because the Most High is sitting there watching. And most times just still not going to allow me to go through it. Now, you find people out here who want to block the connection and block all of this. I still got enough common sense. Like, I'm not stupid. And say, well, we'll block the gifts, or we'll block your ancestors, we'll block spirits. You can't block ancestors, you can't block spirits. You're talking about trillions of ancestors. Please stop the nonsense. You're talking about spirits that you never heard of. That, look, even the Pope, they have many tremendous books of different type of entities and spirits and gods and goddesses that once upon a time that was on this earth in human form, that did many tremendous supernatural things that people think is mythology, but it has truth. And things that put in cartoons and so forth, so on, that doesn't exist. People have to understand, when you leave your physical body, you do not die at all. So when you have a human that's in human form, who he or she or many who don't, when I say many, many, a group, don't know themselves, it's impossible. It's impossible for you to defeat a being when you can't even defeat the regular stuff on a day-to-day basis in a physical human form. You're still misinformed, as if you don't know if you're a spiritual being. You don't know if you're a creature in the human form. You don't know if you're an extraterrestrial being in the human form because your memory been swiped from you from birth. And here it is, me trying. I ain't trying to do anything. Let me rephrase that, given the wisdom that people have no clue about because they've been indoctrinated and they've been in this cycle, in this loop over and over and over and over and over and over. And it ain't going to stop, or is it not going to stop until people start doing the opposite of what they've been trained. Yes, you're going to have relatives that's going to be mad at you. Yes, you're going to have friends and people in the public going to bash you. But guess what? Once you step out of that shell and step outside the box, you're going to see them still lost, bumping into each other, things still not working out for them. And people are so materialistic, which I am not, that they think that when you obtain material things, that mean you have gained the favor of the Most High. No, you gained something because you earned it, illegally or legal. We ain't talking about just a law or breaking the law where you go to jail. We talking about the law of the universe. The universe does not pick right and wrong. It gives you free will to choose if you want to do wrong, if you want to do right. And it's on you, however you decide to make these choices. They said, well, dang, you talk about a lot of different things, but I thought the subject is still about the Grand Reaper. The Grand Reaper is in all what I just said. There's a death to everything. Death can be positive, death can be negative. People don't even know that. You know why we don't know that? Because we've been indoctrinated by relatives and people around us as a child and also a teenager to adult. And then the society or the communities that we go in and out. And these different type of conversations and perspectives that we've been given to one another or hearing from other people or sitting here listening to people on television like they got all the sense and they know everything. You motherfucker don't know shit. That's why the world is where it's at. Economically, they don't know shit. If it was, everybody be thriving. So why should I sit here and listen to somebody talk about bragging how to get some money, for example, when they're bringing up but death? These same motherfucking people that do rituals against me and rituals against the society to abstract your energy, to extract your gifts, to make you think a certain way so you won't be the competition because they ain't no competition because they don't got no gifts, they don't got no skills, and they most definitely not favored by God. And this is why they do rituals to conjure up different type of energies, which it mean can be also spirits, because people use energies to identify spirits and also siphon the energies of others so they can actually manifest things in their life and make you pay triple on top of what they're doing. See, the bottom line is you think that people will want to stop paying attention to shit that's not serving them, but they can't because they don't know how to unlock and remove themselves. Here it is, a person who has the same experience that many masses of people are still having. I am not locked in, but I have the antidote. And you have people just looking at me crazy. And then you also have people mumbling and hey, think you know everything. It's not that, but you're entitled to your opinion. And if so, why wouldn't you listen? It's not hurting you to listen. It's not hurting you to apply, but it's hurting you to ignore and go right back into the pit. And that pit that you remain or choose to go into is dark, it's lonely, it's chaotic, it's havoc, destructive, and it's lonely. And it will never do anything for you. And if you don't believe that, this point will make you understand that every person that you can think of in this moment or whenever that time comes has perished, has been forgotten, will be forgotten. They only spoke of time to time. It's not a daily thing. For example, what I mean by that, you have certain celebrations that people celebrate yearly, every 3 years, every 5 years. You can use the awards, celebrities, for example. They only celebrate it when that time comes. They only thought about when something they've actually created presents themselves. Celebrities even steal people creativity and energy. That's why they become a part of the cult, because that's part of the contract, that's part of the initiation. They already had agreed to this before they came to the planet. This is why you see the people who are evil, for people who struggle to figure out why are people so evil or why the good people suffer. Good people not suffering. only because they're trying to fit in with evil people. That's why good people suffer. Simple. I can go beyond that and farther than that, but good people suffer because they want to fit in or not understanding that they stand out from the evil people. You're trying to make somebody love you. You're trying to make somebody like you. You're trying to make somebody understand where you're coming from. It's not that what you have said and what you've done is not truth. It's just that you won't stand in that truth alone. You're not permanently alone because the Most High will align those right people in your life. You continuously will go in through things over and over and over and over until you cut people off that you truly care about. And you're like, nah, God will never want me to cut my children off. If your children not in alignment with the Most High, you damn right they get cut off. It say, well, can you back that shit up? We can go to the scripture if you want to back it up, because some people go by the Bible. And I respect that and I understand that because I'm not here to enforce or pressure anyone from the perspective of this truth. But at the end of the day, we can go there. The Most High, according to what was written, doesn't matter who wrote the book. It said and shows that the Most High slaughtered the children as well because they are evil from the bloodline. They're evil from the parents. And he said, well, you can't back it up. I'm going to back it up a little bit more. If you go on YouTube now or whenever you choose to go to, or even just think about this thought, isn't it true that kids take their parents out? Hmm. Isn't it true that parents take their children out, their family, their spouse? Yeah, there you go. I was just breezing through and I saw that a guy executed his son, his 15-year-old son. This is showing you death as well, spiritual death. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. He executed his son because his wife came to him and told him that he messed with his 3-year-old stepsister. Now, the way that he went about it was wrongly. They both, a 15-year-old is still a child. Maturity in men is developed differently from one another. I hear there's a saying that men mature late. But how do you know how men mature when each man is going to grow up differently, regardless if he has a father in the household or not? I could talk about all the messy stuff and explain who did it, why they did it, and why they would continuously to keep people stuck in those things. But moving forward is that the man executed his son. He beat him first, took him to the woods or to an area, a stranded area, and executed him with a shot to the head. He didn't do no investigation. He didn't do no evaluation. He didn't go and take the daughter to the hospital to see this truth. He just took the wife's word. And I'm not saying she lying, but check this narrative. Check this other truth out about this suspense that I evaluated. Maybe this wife didn't like her son, if that's her original son. Maybe this wife did not like her stepson, if that's what he was to her. Maybe it was just about an insurance policy that the husband's not aware of. Maybe it's just that she's selfish because this type of stuff happens because people don't know what people be thinking. Sometimes people hear the subliminal message and they ignore it. And that the spirit death decided to convince this man to kill his blood, which creates a generational curse because people think generation curses are not real. People think spiritual warfare is not real, but this is spiritual warfare because you got people in high places and low places that do spell work against other people for these type of events to happen. Because the more you can continuously create havoc, destruction, death, trauma, pain, right? Even people may not be going through it personally of that experience, they actually is still going through it with others because they're actually listening and seeing it. And it goes into the subconscious mind and it's there, point blank, period. Proven fact. Rather go to a scientific perspective where the science will tell you that, yeah, anything you subtract in your subconscious mind, positive, negative, is there. And it's unaware until you actually able, which most people are not because they don't know how to understand that watching things and paying attention to these things actually go to the subconscious mind, which limits them to actually, which is a spiritual death or death itself of the grand reaper that allows them not actually to really receive these positive things that they desire or have consistency with it. Anyway, last but least of that point of that story, um, he don't know if he made the right decision or not, but you should not never kill anybody if you don't have to. Even if you do, is because that spirit does not rest and that spirit does hunt you, and also anything that is attached to that spirit that actually comes for vengeance. You got people out here telling people how to do a revenge spell and stuff like that. And I realize that shit coming back. I don't give a damn who you think he is. I don't give a damn if you think you can counteract, if you can create some type of spirit to protect you, or you think you create somebody to pray for you, or get somebody to do spiritual work for you, or you do the spiritual work yourself, you're not protected. Even if you don't die in the physical body, everything around you will die. You may grab it, you may obtain it for a while, and that death can also be emotional, where you got plenty things that others don't have. The death within you is that spirit, which is the grand reaper, who's actually caused you not to be fulfilled. And eventually you're going to get sick, not only in your mind, but also in your body and everything else around you. It's like dead roses. But to someone else who's looking from the outside, looking in, it's roses that's blooming and beautiful. And people question these people who've been in these or are in these situations like, damn, they got everything, but they ain't happy. Yeah, the Grand Reaper come in many forms. This is not even in a book, what you've been told. It can be placed in the book based on me saying it, but people can't explain it because they don't have the knowledge of it. Only I do. And said, man, I'm sure somebody else, they don't have it the way I have it. They may have something, but don't have what I have because they're not in my body. I know about the body snatching. I had people try to snatch my soul and snatch my body. You can't snatch something you didn't create. That's the most disrespectful thing that you could ever do to yourself, by showing no gratitude to who you are, and also, most importantly, to the Most High. So overall, the Grand Reaper is an ally for those who want to continuously, like, I'm going to kill him or whomever. Be very mindful and cautious about who you're attacking, because you don't know who is protecting what's protecting them. And yeah, you may get a glimpse of some type of protection, but it go deeper than what your physical eyes, or how far you be digging spiritually about what you think you're gonna do to somebody. But also, that's saying that God don't need to be God, the Most High, which many different names that people call this source, is saying that it doesn't exist and that you are God, and whatever you say goes, goes. And people gonna be hard headed. Hopefully they won't, but about 90 some percent people are. And we can drop it down to 80, 70, 60, it doesn't matter. It's a percentage of hard headedness. And that people will learn the hard way. And because things doesn't come instantly of gratification to prove this point, eventually it does spin the block. Everybody know this. And he said, well, not necessarily. Then you ever see some people that rob people, they end up robbing, but their consequence is death. Or they end up robbing and their consequence is the death or losing a body part. They end up robbing, But that consequence of losing their mind, they end up robbing that consequence of somebody else going through some type of illness or some type of death or some type of trauma, some type of pain or some generation curse that you see over and over that coming threefold every time around. As three people dying in their family every year or every 2 years, every 3 years, every 4 years. People are fucking their whole bloodline up out here doing all this crazy shit instead of creating and starting a new bloodline and leaving that old bloodline where it's at. Because them people don't want to change. They want to pretend that they are what they isn't. God give everybody the opportunity. Everybody don't want to take that narrow path. It's a lot of things you're gonna go through. It take a person with faith and asking for something that they know they can't get themselves, that they have no choice but to rely on the Most High to get them through. And you have people who are mad about it. For those who are mad, how would you feel if your mind can go there? If myself or other people were to do the shit that you think that was not known, because the Most High see everything. The person that you attacking don't have to see everything, but how would you feel for the people that you truly care about, even if you don't care about yourself, but to actually go through that shit or someone to put them through that shit? And if you don't have no remorse for that I stated, it says a lot about who you are as a person. It's just sad that karma doesn't move the way people think it should move, which many of us think that it should move instantly, like, yeah, boom. No, karma moves the way it moves in divine timing. Karma moves where it gives people a chance to evaluate their actions to get the same opportunity they deserve, like you feel or know that you deserve, to get it right, to fix it, and to move on and not do certain things that are actually discourage, demolish their lives or those around them or the things that they want or the things that they have. They get that same right. Because they're doing something evil doesn't mean they're not deserving. Anyway, hope that someone or whom or many got something out of what has been spoken. I appreciate everyone coming out. This is Ola Dabade Obisayin. If you would like, share, and subscribe, feel free. But until next time, all is well, peace and blessings. And normally, people don't wish that upon me, but I wish it upon them. And it's not about them, it's about doing what is divinely righteous. Until then, next time, I'm out. Peace.